Good morning to you from the misty, chilly Valley of Joy. How are you? Have you slept? Have you eaten? Are you well? Dawn of another day, and I'm out early with the puppers because I'm off to take my pupper bear to a procedure. He's having some surgery on his hearing today. So I'm visiting my pupper bear and taking him to the hospital and staying with him. What about you? What's on for your day today? What's the weather like where you are? How are you feeling? Have you slept? Do you feel ready to take on the world? But first, the valley. Check her out. Oh, isn't she pretty? And today I thought I would talk about contemplation. Last night we had an amazing 10-degree shift call. It was great, wasn't it, Noshi? As always, it's always wonderful when amazing, delicious humans come together. And on the 10-degree shift call last night, we were talking about straight talk. And we had a really deep conversation. We had a deep conversation about relationships, about how we exist in the world, how we interact, where we're at in our own conscious awareness, and how that plays out when we interact with others. But what really stood out for me was right at the end when I asked for 2 words from each person of how they're feeling after the call. And one of the members, hello Anna, she said, I need to contemplate this more. I need to sit in contemplation. So more to contemplate. And I love that. And I love the word contemplation and what it represents. And I've been studying a lot about the gene keys of late. And in the gene keys, they talk a lot about contemplation. And that the best way to come to an awareness of self is through the practice of contemplation. And so I really got curious around what exactly does that mean? What does contemplation represent? And how is that different from, say, meditation or something else? And the best way to describe it, I think, is that contemplation is the middle path. The path that all yogis aspire to, the middle path. And what that means is it's halfway between meditation and concentration. So concentration is much more the masculine end. That's the focused end, the end where you're really intently focused on something, where you're doing the work in a really thoughtful, pointed way. And so concentration requires lots of brain power, but specifically it needs the left brain, logic. And so that's concentration. And on the other end is meditation. And meditation is a little bit more whole mind, but it's a lot more feminine. It's a lot more surrendered and accepting and allowing what comes up as you meditate. And while you might single point focus on your breath or a candle or a flower or your presence, it still is much more feminine, much more sitting in with. And so contemplation is somewhere in between. Contemplation is neither concentration nor meditation. Contemplation is holding lightly that thing that you're considering. But it's still marinating in it and allowing whatever comes up to come up, but in a gentler way, a more in flow way. And so to me, it's kind of in the middle between the two. And that is a really deep way to learn and grow. Because as you contemplate, stuff's going to come up. And rather than in meditation, we sort of try to stay in meditation, and so we release it. We notice it and then release it. In contemplation, we do pick it up with some joy, with some curiosity, with a curious mind, And we go, oh, look at that. Let me ponder that. And so we allow ourselves to run our eye over it. Let our fingers feel it. Touch and absorb the thoughts of whatever it is. We let ourselves be an active participant in it, but not in that pointed, strong way that we do when we're in concentration. So contemplation really allows for flourishing and growth. It allows for other new versions and aspects to rise up and be considered. So is there anything in your life that would benefit maybe from some contemplation today? A bit of pondering. Maybe it's time for you to pick that up, to turn it over in your hand and to consider it a while. Food for thought. Have a beautiful, delicious day. Much love to you from my heart. Can't wait to squeeze my Papa Bear. Peace out.